I'm George Herbert, Chief Forecaster here with Weather Now Kentucky. Welcome back in. I'll go ahead and pull up the radar here for you. We do have that tornado warning active once again up here in northern Kentucky. This is going to be for Jefferson and Trimble County in Indiana, and kind of spill a little bit more into Kentucky as well. And this will eventually probably be continued on. This is not only radar indicated, this is now confirmed and observed. So this is kind of another decent signature last time I checked, and it still very much is. We have another pretty obvious tornado that's on the ground. By the way, we did follow up with some of those reports earlier. There's a lot of damage out there toward Florence, Kentucky. Look like at least EF1 damage from what I could see. Now, of course, a lot of that footage and pictures and stuff is in the nighttime, so a little bit difficult to see exactly what all happened out there. Versus, talking damaging winds versus tornadic, but it is obvious something happened in Florence. I did see a couple of pictures that were reported to be a rather large tornado in Florence. But in this day and age, you have to vet those things and check it out if it's AI or if it's from a different storm system because people are untrustworthy. So there may have very well been something to happen in Florence and other portions of northern Kentucky when we were live earlier. But again, looking at this storm that we have here, this is an observed tornado that is occurring here. We also have an obvious tornado ID signature from WeatherWise's tornado ID system. See if we can check any of these other radars, get any better views. No, this is still our best radar to look at here. That's just them updating the tornado watch. Actually, that just came out. So let's go ahead and get that ready to post as well. That just came out, so it's going to pop up on here in a minute. That should be a new tornado watch that's coming out right now. Sorry, is everything working correctly? We kind of just hopped in this and went. We kind of just hopped in this thing and went. So we're live on Facebook and YouTube right now. I don't see anyone in the chat on YouTube. That's pretty unusual for this deep into the video. Can someone check the YouTube, make sure that's working? By the way, please like and share the broadcast. We appreciate you guys. For now, I'm going to zoom in here, and then I'm going to investigate to my right, make sure everything's working. So I just going to point out here, for those of you that may be asking, here's your rotation, and it's moving off kind of this way. So it may scoot just north of Carrollton and then come into the state in near Vevay, Kentucky. And there's your new tornado warning. What is all your purple on this? Rotation. You can tell there's a lot of it. Was this a new watch that came out? Is that why that buzzed? I don't see one over here. Was there a new watch that came out? A new tornado watch? My alert system flagged it, the personal one I built, but I'm not seeing it listed anywhere. So I don't know if it was an error or what. Refresh this. Or we'll keep an eye on it. Right now, I don't see it, though. Did those tornado probabilities go up? Or am I tripping? I might be tripping. There we go. Now I see someone on YouTube. Usually we have more people on the YouTube by this point, but I just wanted to make sure. Okay, guys, right now let's focus in a little bit more on what's happening up here. Yes, obviously, just to really quickly touch base with you guys and everything else. Obviously, we have this line that is really starting to get its act together again. It kind of went through a bit of a weakening phase just to the north, or just to the north. Now it's sagging more south into Kentucky, where our air is ready. There's no question our environment in Kentucky is ready to produce strong to severe weather tonight and this morning, going through the early morning hours. It's going to be a question on whether these storms have gone on for so long that they've built their own cap and outflow, and they're just ready to be done. I think at this point it's pretty obvious the storm line is getting itself together, and this will continue to create new storms. As you can see, if you kind of look a little bit closer into right here, you can see some new storms are starting to be formed. As that line catches those new storms, we may see some rough stuff happen. Okay, damaging winds, isolated tornado or two, but either way, some rough stuff is going to happen. As far as up here, what is that? By the way, Louisville, you're now included in a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it. This storm line is turning south now. So we were waiting for that to kind of happen. This storm line has started to turn south. So now we can really start to hone in on this northern Kentucky area. That's really hard to see with that watch in the background. Let me go and turn that watch off for you. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. Also, took like a really quick 40-minute nap, so I'm trying to get back going. By the way, I haven't said this yet, but you guys are pros and should know. Like and share the broadcast for me. We got a lot of people that are sleeping right now. We need to share this broadcast out. Get some people woken up and let them know what's happening here. This was always my biggest fear is this happening at 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, or we're getting toward 4 o'clock. People are sleeping. By the way, turn up this opacity. Why is that so far down? Turn that up so you can see that a little bit more. We'll turn this up so we can see it a little bit more. Okay. Now you guys should be able to see things a little bit the warning's a little bit better here. There we go. Okay. So for the tornado warning, we have, let's go ahead and turn this back on. Carrollton, Vevay, Warsaw, Brooksburg, Worthville, Sanders, kind of included in that warning polygon there. Your best rotation is probably near Brooksburg right now, just kind of based upon where those notches are there. Now, this rotation does not look as incredible as it did earlier, but it is still there. Actually, a little bit more toward Madison, which was back there, which would, be between Locust and Brooksburg. So, again, any rotation that may be happening right now with this storm system, let's use blue so you can see a little bit better here. It's going to be somewhere kind of in that notch. I know it's really hard to see, but kind of in there. You also kind of see where this is bulging out at as well. So it's not a classic signature, but there is something there to support. Something was rotating, kind of heading that way. So may scoot just north of Carrollton, may scoot just south of Vevay. Going to be very close. But Carrollton, Vevay, Easterday, Carson, Warsaw all need to be in their safe places. They put that warning box very far north there. I wonder if is there a secondary bit of rotation? I think they just made it pretty wide just to be safe. I kind of want to see what the wind gusts are along this line here. We do have this HazCam in the Sellersburg area. It does have a wind gust detector on it, so I want to kind of just leave that up in the top somewhere. And we'll take a look at that here in a moment. When it gets a little bit closer, you see the cameras here. The storm's up here toward Henryville right now. But again, this new warning does include the greater Louisville area. I wanted to take a quick minute here, just kind of see what we're dealing with. Yeah, here come the winds, boys and girls. Which I walked back out here to the studio from the house, and it's already windy here in Radcliffe. It is insane. The wind just like, as I say that, something falls on the roof. It is insane. The winds just picked up. Like they were already rocking today, but they just picked up. You can kind of see that here too. That's not necessarily a fine bulge or rotation signature that's happening anywhere, but you see how you can kind of see the front here with the line of storms, just how evident those winds are kind of picking up here. So we definitely have a very respectable, damaging wind threat pushing into the northern portions of Kentucky. First up will be Bedford, Campbellsburg, LaGrange, Charlestown, Sellersburg, Indiana, and then toward Louisville, Crestwood, LaGrange, Eminence, Newcastle, Kentucky. And then our eyeballs are kind of looking, okay, how does this storm line to the west? How does this, as it sags to the south and interacts with these new cells that are popping up, does that line continue to expand and grow and mature? Or does it kind of just swallow those storms and it stays kind of isolated like this? If it continues to expand, grow, and mature, well, then we need to watch Owensboro. We need to watch Hardinsburg, Radcliffe, Elizabethtown, Brandenburg, Shepherdsville, so on and so forth. So for those of you in northwest and north central Kentucky, it's about keeping an eye on that western kind of bulge or western kind of material that's happening out here toward western Indiana and eastern Illinois. As far as our active warnings right now, it continues to be Carrollton, Vevay, Warsaw, East Enterprise, Sanders, and Worthville. In that tornado warning, it is radar indicated, but the former warning is for an observed tornado. And then, of course, you have your severe thunderstorm warning down here for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, very little hail, and a tornado possible tag on that as well. Right now, guys, I see a lot of you that were in the last broadcast that are asking the same questions or was asking the same questions in this broadcast. I will tell you nothing has changed in my opinion. This still remains as a respectable threat. I'm not sure if the outlook from the SBC has changed at all. We could take a look at that. Um, it's just not loading the current outlook. I wonder if they're going to, if they're talking about a new watch yet. Correctly. Okay, you get. Might be a little bit easier to see this on storm relative velocity actually. What I'm curious to see though is this storm line is about to enter Sellersburg, Indiana. Oh, let's see here. Let's use our storm track tool from WeatherWise here. Would it be this portion that comes towards Sellersburg? So we can see that it's about 11 minutes out. And this has cam has a come on. This has cam has a wind meter on it. Measures the wind speeds. So I'm curious to see what these wind speeds are going to be picked up as. And that will let us know a little bit about what's heading into Louisville, Crestwood, LaGrange, so on and so forth. This is, again, why it's so important to have these HAZ cams up. And shout out to Sellersburg for getting it done. Okay, did they... Now it's finally... I think it might show up finally. It's still not showing up. Okay, they have... Whoa, that's a little bit different. Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat this to you guys. All right. I just woke up from a nap, so admittedly, I have not looked at a whole lot. The National Weather Service has come out with this graphic here. And I'm going to explain to you what this means. This is a mesoscale discussion concerning the tornado watch that's already active. And I'm assuming because they've also included counties that are south of that tornado watch, that this watch will likely be expanded. This is going to be for the potential for isolated severe wind gust, and a tornado will continue over the next hour or two. I'm a little bit confused by this because if you look at the most probable peak intensity of a tornado occurring, this is 140 to 170 miles per hour, which would be EF3 to EF4 level tornadoes possible, but you're talking about violent tornadoes at that point. The wind is 65 to 80 miles per hour, and the hail is 1.5 to 2.5 inches. Now, I know it did have a little bit of a glitch earlier, so I want to double check this, but if this is true, we need to all be watching very carefully because this is pretty much saying violent severe weather is possible over the next hour or two in northern portions of Kentucky. But allow me to double check that before you guys start freaking out, because I'm confused. So look, for example, they have Hardin County included, all the way out to Owensboro, those areas we just talked about, maybe seeing the storms or not. And they also have all the way down toward Lexington, almost toward Richmond, Louisa, Ashland, Kentucky included as well. But you see, there's no watch here, and I refreshed this several times. So I'm trying to see if this is legit, or I mean, it came from the National Weather Service account, so I know it's legit. But I don't know if there's a bug somewhere. I know it's true, but I'm trying to figure out why this is not popping up on here. And also, I know they had a bug earlier where they did not mean to put as high of tornado probabilities as they did. I'm trying to figure some things out here. This is the first time I've opened up RadarScope in years. I use WeatherWise, as you guys know. I'm just trying to double check something. I don't even remember how to turn watches on. Here we go. Okay, so the watch has not been upgraded yet. So I'm now even more confused. I'm so confused right now. Anyway, just know rowdy weather is coming. And it seems like the SPC is feeling like this is going to fill in. I want to see. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. With no cap. Yeah. I see why they did that. Where's that? Wow. Okay. Um, unless I'm going to check. Yeah. So, yeah, I fully expect that these storms will fill in, and we are now looking at least for the next 2 hours, a significant severe weather threat. Let me check one more thing. No, I don't see any capping inversion there at all. You have a little bit of that dry punch above, around 600 millibar. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. They definitely need to go ahead and I don't know what watch they're going to put out though. Like, can we get the watch upgraded then? What are we doing here? You can't put that kind of message out and then not change the watch here or upgrade it or update it. Again, I took a nap for a little bit and came back and okay, there it is. There's the mesoscale discussion anyway. You can see where it's highlighting. By the way, again, want to point out, I know we kind of got off track here for a second. There is still this tornado warning still going for the Vevay, Carrollton, Sanders, and Worthville area. Let me check one real quickly once again, then we'll talk some more about that. The rotation doesn't look like it's all that much there as compared to what it was. We still have that severe warning for Crestwood, Eminence, Newcastle, Campbellsburg, Clarksville, Louisville as well. But you're probably going to be seeing a new watch issued soon. It says concerning Tornado Watch 347. So this means it's concerning a watch that's already out. But there's no watch down here in these areas. That's the part that's confusing me, Chad, by the way. If you guys didn't know what was confusing me. Usually this would say a probability or something like that for a watch that has not been issued. This is saying it's concerning a watch that's already out. And yes, by the way, it is saying the potential is there for violent tornadoes, violent damaging wind gusts, and large hail. To me, these intensities that they have pointed out here means that they're on the borderline of making this a PDS watch, which is a particularly dangerous situation. So that's why I'm confused, by the way. For those of you that are like, why is he so confused? Why does he look so rattled? Because I don't usually get rattled. But, if this is a particularly dangerous situation to watch, this is something I need to wake my wife up for and have her on kind of watch with me with the kids. So that's what I'm trying to figure things out as well. I go to sleep for 1 hour and this happens. Which we did tell you the storms would get more intense as they got toward Kentucky because they, at least on the last broadcast we did, because of the extra little bit of wind shear that was down here. But I just need to make sure. I don't know that's crazy. That's very interesting. Okay, we want to pull that Sellersburg camera back up. I do remember that. And see what kind of wind gust it's about to record here soon. Again, if you live in Vevay, Carrollton, Sanders, Warsaw, Worthville, East Enterprise, you still are under that tornado warning right now. Approaching, kind of going along I-71 there, that best rotation. And then for the Louisville area to LaGrange, Eminence, Newcastle, Campbellsburg, a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and a tornado possible tag as well. Georgetown looking like, can I go to bed? No, you're under a tornado watch. A lot hasn't even gotten to you. If you're up now, I might as well stay up. Trying to look for if they're going to issue that new watch or not. All right. These storms are heading southeast. For whoever was asking about that, I see a lot of people asking, "Are we good in Kentucky, guys?" This line just entered Kentucky, so no one's good. Just to real quickly answer those questions. Right now, my opinion is no one is good. We need to figure out what's happening here. Which I mean, I know what's happening. That probably sounded worse than I'm talking to you guys like I'm talking to my friends right now. I know what's happening. It's just we need to figure out the how much does this fill in? Are these little cells going to be super cells that are popping in front of it, or are they going to be kind of harmless? We need to figure that out. Which all that just takes time. You just have to trend. You have to watch the radar. You just have to trend it. Right now, there is a favorable environment. If you go over here and look at this, is going to sound super scary, but I just want to show you this. It's called the Violent Tornado Index, and you can see it's lit up. It's lit up. So right now, no one's good. This line just entered Kentucky. So we're just trying to figure this out real quick. That's what I thought. It looks like that storm line's getting real close to that Sillersburg camera. So again, I'm kind of interested to see what happens on this camera here and see if it records any crazy wind gusts that are happening. I want to shout out Hascams are the reason we did I just see a funnel? Look at the middle. Look at the middle of that camera when it lights up with the lightning again. Kind of right in here. Could just be a camera artifact too. I couldn't see it on that one. Well, why is it moving? I don't even have it clicked. No, it might just be a camera artifact. Yeah, I kind of see it glowing now. Not sure. I'll keep an eye on that though. Make it a little bit bigger. Make it a little bit bigger there. Let me know if you guys see anything. I'm getting the other camera set up right now as well. So because of this new point of kind of notice here, we're going to get our Elizabethtown camera ready. Also want to find a decent camera up in Jefferson County. That's over the bridge. May work. Surely there's a better one though. Okay. Get the two Louisville cameras ready. If you're trying to figure out a place to stay during a tornado, once again, the whole idea is to be on the most interior and lowest portion of your building, away from like loose items and stuff. That's kind of the idea. So just keep that in mind when you're looking for a place inside of your building. Most times, for most people, it's either a basement or a bathroom. Yes, this will die down by the time it gets to London. Yes, once again, Meade County is still under that impact zone. And no forecast has changed. Everything that you guys have heard throughout the day, it's still there. Did a tornado touchdown in Florence? I've seen a lot of pictures. Of course, in this day and age, you have to take the time to vet everything and go through um, making sure nothing's AI or part of old footage or anything like that. But there have been a lot of damaged pictures, a lot of damaged videos. There have even been a couple pictures of the tornado itself, but again, we have to vet everything, make sure. Based upon all of that, though, and the radar images that I was seeing earlier, I absolutely wouldn't doubt at all if there was a strong tornado that occurred in Florence, Kentucky, earlier this morning. I think it was around 1 o'clock. Pull that over here. Okay, looks like they're going to go with a severe thunderstorm warning instead of a tornado warning for Williamstown, Owenton, Crittenden, Glencoe, Patriot, and Walton, which is probably a good idea. I believe this rotation, last time I checked, was a lot lighter. Yeah, it's very broad now, which usually indicates more of a damaging wind gust threat than it does anything tornadic. Yeah, very much more broad. Looks like the watch is now being updated on the WeatherWise app. Still is not including those areas, though. That is so strange. Wonder what's going on with that. If you just now missed it as well, there's either going to be an expansion of the new watch or they accidentally made the discussion too big. I don't know yet because nothing's happened yet. But if you look here in this red circle, I know it's a little bit difficult to see, but the red outline there, this is where they have listed here. Tornado watch at 347, tornado intensity 140 to 170 miles per hour. Possible that's EF3 to EF4. Damaging winds, and that's max potential, by the way. It doesn't mean we're going to start seeing EF3s and EF4 spit everywhere. That's just these are max potential hazards. Wind gust 65 to 80 miles per hour, and hail up to quarter or ping pong. I believe it's golf ball sized, possible as well. But again, it's unclear if they're going to extend this watch or if they're just talking about that watch that's already there. I'm not sure what's going on with this yet because it says it's regarding a watch that's already out, but they're including several counties here that aren't already included in this watch. Unless do they have a severe thunderstorm watch out for it? I have those turned off. No. Very interesting. I'm going to leave it on, though, and see if anything pops up in the background and updates in the background. I'm also just going to quickly check the socials again. Yeah, I don't see anything yet. Well, I see a lot of the chasers and everyone went to bed. I tried telling everyone, got to keep an eye on Kentucky. It's bound to happen at some point this year. Ethan, it may be storming during that commute in Louisville, but the severe threat should be over by then. Should be. Don't be shaken. It's okay. Look, tonight, I mean, again, as long as most of you are inside somewhere, staying still, you're going to be just fine. Most of the people that get hurt by tornadoes or damaging winds or something like that is because they're outside. Unless you know if you're staying inside of a weak structure, like if you know if you're staying inside of a weak mobile home or RV, then obviously you need to find a different spot, especially if you're included in this kind of red circle here that they're kind of talking about here. But I mean, again, most of you are going to be just fine if you're just staying inside tonight. You know, it's the people that go venturing out. It's the people that or if it's a violent tornado that occurs. You know, that's always a possibility as well. Again, just want to point out, we still have this tornado warning active for the Vevey, Sanders, Warsaw area. I imagine they're going to either cancel this or allow this to expire because it looks like the storm line's already kind of approaching the borders of the warning box there. So I imagine it's probably going to be canceled because it still has 18 minutes. And it looks like they're going with a severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible tag on it. Hey guys, if you're looking for forecasting information, we've spent all the last couple of days giving that to you. I ask that you go back through and watch some of those videos or look at some of those posts. It's going to help you through a night like tonight. Did I get my shelter? Well, I don't know where you live, my friend. Hey, how's Ashland looking, specifically Canonsburg, Meads area? I have no idea where that is, but Ashland, Kentucky overall. This severe storm will be in your area. It's kind of severe line. It'll probably be a few more hours. And it should be a little bit weaker by the time it gets there. But we'll keep an eye on it for you. Oh, I forgot to check in on this camera here. Looks like we probably missed the best wind gust on that. We do have the Louisville EMS camera we can look at in a little bit. That's just an update to the already issued severe thunderstorm warning that's happening in Louisville and the greater area there. We have severe warnings in kind of this orange kind of area here: Verona, Crittenden, Dry Ridge, Williamstown, Owenton, Monterey, Gratz, Glencoe, Warsaw, Newcastle, Eminence, LaGrange, Crestwood, Louisville, Clarksville, Indiana, Linden, Shively, and then over toward Corydon, Indiana as well. Already answered about Meade County several of times. Again, it's the same risk it has been in, and we continue to watch out for the potential for damaging weather. See what are they doing with this warning? Okay. Sorry, if it's when there's a lot going on like this, I like to be more direct. I like to be more direct with things because it just clears up the answers for you guys a lot faster. So I want to apologize. It's also 4 o'clock in the morning, so I want to apologize if anything sounds rude at all throughout tonight and this morning. It's not meant to be like that. I'm just being very direct, so everything's very clear for you guys. Because I know sometimes it can be a lot to digest all of this. Carrollton is we're not including that warning anymore. That is already past you, and your severe threat is done. The good news is once this line passes you, you're pretty much done. It's just this is moving pretty slow. Well, let's see here. Yeah, well, actually, it's picked the speed back up. Now it's up to 60 miles per hour on these storm motions, so maybe it won't take as long to get past you. Keeping an eye on the social media there. Thank you for your $5 super chat. Says, what about Bedford? I'm guessing you're talking about Bedford, Indiana? Or is that Bedford, Kentucky you're talking about? Getting quiet southeast Jefferson County. You're probably just you're probably just getting all those winds coming into that storm, so now it's starting to calm down a little bit. Caitlin, I don't really see any risk for Bowling Green at this point. Yeah, I agree, Cage. Frenchie, thank you very much. Retro, I got you. You think it's going to go any more north? Well, the storm line's moving southeast. So if you're asking about where the storms are going, they're moving southeast. You're still seeing a lot of people asking about specific forecasting information about their specific towns. Please go check out all the forecast videos we made. Yeah, I don't see a tornado warning for Menifee County. You want to point out this looks more like a northern half of Kentucky storm threat. Southern half of Kentucky still really not expecting anything for you until closer to lunchtime. By that point, it's mainly just an isolated damaging wind threat. Anthony, thank you for your $2 super chat. It says tornado chance in Jeffersonville, Indiana. I believe it's 2 to 4%. Yes, Carrollton, Kentucky is in the clear. That's correct. Do you think they will extend the watch to Ashland? I think it'll be close. Right now, you're included in that mesoscale discussion, which means, yeah, you probably will. But this mesoscale discussion confuses me. Bedford, Kentucky. I'm not really sure where that one's at. Let me look that up. My brain's still halfway asleep. Oh, you're up there. You're up here. You're up here somewhere. Oh, there you are. I knew you were in the north there. Looks like the worst of it's definitely past you. More so looking at the front edge of this line. Starting to see a lot of these little notches in, though. Like this one here toward LaGrange. Do we have any wind signatures on radar here? No, I don't see anything yet. No. Okay. Wow, that radar looks crazy. Yeah, I was just about to say they're gonna have to up this. Owenton, Williamstown, Dry Ridge, Brittany, Verona, Walton, Glencoe, Warsaw, Monterey. You are now under a severe warning for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This could go a little bit higher too in the future. The radar tends to overdo it a little bit on these front edges, but and even in the deep in the line, we're seeing 75, 77, 76, 74. So this could go even higher if it gets a touch stronger. I'm going to check it from the airport radar out here as well. 65, 72, 70. So it's looking about 70. Yeah, so that's a really good warning there. Again, this area up here for this warning box, 70-mile-per-hour wind gust now is the tag on there. Of course, tornado possible tag with it as well. And we were waiting to see if they issue a new tornado watch for the areas in this red circle that are not included in the yellow shade yet. So kind of waiting to see if that happens. These storms moving east, southeast. Gonna take a little imaginary. These ones are moving a little bit more east. These over here moving a little bit more south. Kind of what's happening here. UBG, thank you for the $20 super chat on YouTube. I appreciate that. In Radcliffe, the wind is crazy. My roof sounds like it's going to fly off. I know the wind has been nuts here in Radcliffe, like it has been for much of north central Kentucky. It's been nuts. What is the wind speed showing for Harrisburg, Kentucky right now? Probably around 40 to 50 miles per hour. Back hurts. Where is there? I gotta go find it. Data. Maps. Peak wind gust since midnight in Hardinsburg is 28 miles per hour. UBG, thank you for becoming a supporter on YouTube as well. Thank you for the extra level of support. Enjoy the no ads. Thank you again, everyone, liking and sharing the broadcast on Facebook. I'm seeing all the likes and shares come through. Thank you for doing your part and helping us out and spreading this information. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. What time do I think this will be in E-Town? Probably closer to about 6 a.m. based upon how this is going. 5 to 6 a.m. ish. It's going to be interesting because right now the storm line is speeding up right here. Let's see where this is. Let me see here. Storm track, and we'll use kind of this side as an example here. Yeah, I mean, this side of the line is a little bit slower, and this side of the line is going to be the one you're kind of watching. But you've also got this kind of new line starting to form here too. So 5 to 6 a.m. is probably the window I would go with. Okay, that tornado warning has been canceled. Now we are left with these 3 warnings here. Again, just kind of go through these here for you real quickly. Crittenden, Dry Ridge, Williamstown, Glencoe, Owenton, and Monterey. Included in that 70-mile-per-hour threat. Damage threat is considerable. Over here for LaGrange, Eminence, Bedford, Campbellsburg, Bethlehem, Louisville, Linden, so on and so forth. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust is the threat there. And then, of course, this cell over here in southern Indiana is also for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So right now, that's what we're looking at. Of course, also we're looking at the potential for this watch to be expanded even further to maybe fill in the counties inside of that red circle. But I'm still a little confused about that. I'm just continuing to do some investigating here. They talked about this very serious warning or watch, but there's been no new watch issued, so I'm still keeping an eye on it. Are they canceling this warning here? Okay, this warning for LaGrange, Crestwood, Louisville, Sailorsburg, Indiana is going to be allowed to be canceled or expired, I mean. So we're pretty much left with this one up here in northern portions of Kentucky for Dry Ridge, Williamstown, Owenton. Let's take a look at the radar there and see kind of what we're measuring. Actually, it might be a little bit better to use that. It's so hard to see with this yellow watch background. Okay, we're seeing 68, 70, 69, kind of in that center area. That will head out a little bit more toward Williamstown here in about 10 to 15 minutes. And then down here around Owenton, might be better to use the Louisville radar for down here. 65, 70. I wouldn't believe this 80-mile-per-hour stuff just yet. Yeah, okay. Refresh the radar real quickly as well. Boy, Louisville, Jefferson County area, get ready for a lot of rain. My goodness, you've got this stalling line that's developed in front of you, and you now got all this rain coming in the background. Get ready for a punch of rain in the Jefferson County area. And I'm really curious what's about to happen when these two lines get together. I am really curious about that. Okay. It struck somewhere in Owenton, sounded like a loud bang. Yeah, you got 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts going on around you at least. Oldham County's under that severe warning, but I believe that one's going to be canceled. So it looks like just a really rowdy thunderstorm at this point. And now we've got this portion of the line starting to get warned out here. Yeah, so we're going to need to watch down here. So I'm not really sure what's happening. We now have a warning over here for this side as well. So this entire line starting to get warned here. We now have a warning for Falmouth, Brooksville, Moscow. Again, up here in far northern Kentucky. In Dry Ridge, Williamstown, Owenton, Monterey, that area is for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Don't forget that 70-mile-per-hour wind gust on this warning box here. This warning is being allowed to expire, so we'll skip over that. And then, of course, over here into southern Indiana, we need to start watching this a little bit more. This will come down and impact places like Brandenburg, maybe clip in the Ratcliffe area, be close, Lebanon Junction, Shepherdsville, Hillview, Taylorsville, so on and so forth. So, need to keep an eye on those warning boxes over there. But they have several tornado warnings going on up here in southern Ohio, even an observed one. We've seen so many observed warnings tonight. I have seen so many observed warnings tonight because you guys know now I work for WeatherWise as well. So I've been watching the radar. I have literally been watching this storm system since the minute it birthed itself. And there have been so many observed warnings tonight for tornadoes. It's a little bit more rare. Usually you see radar indicated more often than not. There have been so many observed warnings tonight. Which is always, it's always a great thing. Obviously, it sucks you don't want to see severe weather, right? But it's obviously a great thing when you can get trustworthy reports in and you know something's happening versus radar. And a lot of that is these cameras, too. Cameras are popping up everywhere. Heck, we've even got cameras down here in Nicholasville and Danville now, thanks to Ryan Hall and their team. So you got a lot of things going on, and it's good to have all these eyes in the skies. So again, we still have these warnings up here for Northern Kentucky. This warning over here in Louisville, LaGrange, Campbellsburg, that's going to be allowed to expire here soon. I got mosquitoes all in here. Got in. I guess because they're going in and out a lot. And this red circle that you see here, this big red oval, that is where the new watch can come out or be issued for if it ever comes out. Which I'm assuming they may be waiting for these two lines to come together and see what happens. That's what I'm assuming for, anyway. That's what I'm assuming that's happening there. We're getting a tornado ID signature just east of Williamstown. Okay, it's gone on that radar. Do have a couple notches over there, so that's going to be quite interesting. $70, $70, $68, $70, $73. Yeah, just east of Owenston, still 70 miles per hour on the wind threat there. Dude, the amount of flies and stuff I have in here right now is insane. Still not entirely sure what's going on with this mesoscale discussion. Ben, thank you for your $2 super chat. Sorry, I just saw that there. Yes, Carrollton's good to go. Yeah, Bedford, Kentucky, you're good to go. Yes, Carrollton, Kentucky's good to go. Maysville, Kentucky, this line has not made it to you. Okay, now they really have got to expand that watch because now we've got warnings going into this non-watch area. We now have severe warnings for Cynthiana, Barry, Sadieville, Georgetown, Frankfort, Shelbyville, getting close to but not including Lawrenceburg, and Falmouth up here. Again, all for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as this portion of the line begins to kind of go over those areas. Thank you for the star donation. Let me go check and see who that was from. Justin, thank you for the $20 or 20 stars. I appreciate that. What about Madisonville? Are you good to go back to bed? Are you talking about out here in Western Kentucky? Yeah, I mean, you're not really including anything right now. As long as you have a way to receive warnings and alerts. And there it is. I knew that was coming at some point. Tornado warning now for Williamstown, Falmouth, and Dry Ridge. Remember, this is kind of the area where we saw a little bit of that notch earlier. Yeah, it looks like that rotation is taking a tick back up there. Oh wow. Yeah, I'd say that's rotating. Yeah, I'd say that's rotating. Wowzers. That is going to be for Dry Ridge. It looks like a direct kind of path there to Dry Ridge, just north of Williamstown, Kentucky. Heading toward Goforth and Falmouth. That tornado warning is now active. There now it's a little bit easier to see the red boxes. We'll put a storm track on here as well for you guys. So you guys kind of see where this is heading to and how long it is. On the right side of your screen is your time until storm impact there. Falmouth, 18 minutes. Neve in about 26 minutes. Johnsville in about 30 minutes. Wait for the intro to come through. Powersville in about 32 minutes on the storm track for this rotation that's happening in Dry Ridge, Kentucky, along I-75 there, which we may have, if I can hurry up and do it. How many cameras there? It looks a little bit less intense on that new scan there. They did update one of these warnings, by the way. That's for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Was it this one that they updated? Okay, they updated it back down to 60. Okay. Still waiting to see if they're going to issue another watch for these areas. We now have warnings going into non-watched areas. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what they do here. Okay, you don't got to spam between your sirens. It's okay. Taking a look through here. What's that warning for? 60 mile per hour? Do have a storm report here. Thunderstorm wind damage coming out of Carrollton 40 minutes ago. So it looks like it's a part of this same kind of storm right here. You know what that reminds me of? I forgot to. I'll do that for you, but I forgot to do something. Okay. Listen, thank you for the 40 stars on Facebook. I appreciate that, my friend. Yeah, Bowling Green will be good until 8 or 9 in the morning, Eastern time. Going through some of the comments right now. Thank you again for all the likes and shares. I know a lot of people are just now waking up, kind of wondering what the heck is going on here. Well, we have a storm line that's running into a rocking fuel, a rocking amount of storm fuel, and a rocking amount of wind shear. When this happens, you get a lot of damaging winds, some brief tornadoes to occur, and so on and so forth. Now, there is this area in red here, this red oval, where a new watch may be coming out at some point, but it's unclear because at least it hasn't come out yet. I don't know what's going on with that. I wonder if GeoBot is with us yet. I'm not sure. GeoBot. Okay. Are they updating the watch now? All right. Go back on the radar here. Really decent rotations going on just between Dry Ridge and Williamstown right now. Not extremely tight and organized, but it does have that kind of like the hook into the rotation there. You're gonna have to pay attention to this. Again, tornado warning for Falmouth, Goforth, Williamstown, and Dry Ridge. Hey, GeoBot. That's all right. Hey, GeoBot. I'm trying to fix GeoBot real quick. Okay, it's just the cooldown. Okay, gonna help her. She's gonna help us with storm reports tonight. We actually have some storm reports coming through. Again, we still have this tornado warning still active for the Williamstown, Goforth, and Falmouth area. Not an overly tight signature of rotation there, but solid signature of rotation happening there. Let's check and see what's happening on this storm line. Looks like this leading edge is featuring some 60 to 65, maybe even 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. What's that warning for? 60 mile? There's so many colors happening on the screen right now. And kind of focusing a little bit more on this area up here where the tornado warning is and our severe warning is. Sam, thank you for the $2 super chat. The red polygon is the tornado warning. Those asking about which ways it's going, there's arrows on the screen. These are moving generally east, southeast. Carter County, you still got a couple of hours till it gets to you. Georgetown's in that severe warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Will be in your area in about 15 to 20 minutes. All right. No, I haven't said anything about Hardin County, Kentucky. We have Falmouth, Goforth included in that warning box, that tornado warning box. And of course, we have the severe warnings in orange here, and your tornado watch is in yellow. They're just kind of streaking out that warning a little bit there. Check back in our velocities that are happening here. At the very least, there are some wicked winds that are happening. At the very least. Yeah, 70-mile-per-hour winds is the threat on this northern box now. For Brooksville, Butler, Falmouth, Williamstown, Dry Ridge. That's just the update to the warning. I see a lot of folks, once again, just mentioning that they're scared or they don't have a storm shelter or a basement. Guys, we have a storm shelter partner now. If you look in the bottom left, it'll pop up. If you're in the Facebook chat, the link is scrolling around. Covenant Storm Shelter. I believe they also do payment plans to try and help folks out because, storm shelters are quite expensive because it's a lot of freaking concrete and steel. But it will save your life. And it will definitely help you feel better. So they're trying to help folks out with those payment plans. So, again, Covenant Storm Shelter there, especially if you're in or around central Kentucky. Again, we finally have a Kentucky Storm Shelter company to talk to you about. It's Covenant Storm Shelter. Their sponsor logo's in the bottom left there. You can take a look at that. I just wanted to mention that because you guys know we don't really do our ad spiels on alert broadcasts like this, but I'm just seeing a lot of people talking about how they have nowhere to go, nowhere safe to go. There's options out there for you guys, and we have a great partner in Covenant Storm Shelter for you guys to maybe look into. That's why you don't wait for storms to happen to get a storm shelter. You already have it in place. We still have this warning over here for our Falmouth area. Again, the rotation doesn't look all that organized, but definitely still some level of rotation occurring there. Just a long go forth there, and as it goes through into Falmouth here in the next 5 minutes or so, again, inside of that red polygon is your tornado warning. I guess I'm going to turn off this watch for a little bit because, one, I'm getting tired of looking at the nasty yellow color, and two, it's frustrating me that it's not been updated yet. Yes, you're good to sleep in London. These storms are several hours from you. Do I think the severe thunderstorm warning in Shelby County will be extended? I mean, probably. Tornado warning now on this cell over here for southern Indiana, but we need to keep an eye on it because if this continues on, this will go right into the Louisville metro area. So again, we're kind of watching this cell over here now. Look and see what's happening over here real quickly. You just kind of see that little, how it just kind of wraps back in. Yeah, so you see how you have this little hook developing at the bottom of this, and you kind of just have that wind kind of funneling right back in. You have this gap where the updraft could be. Definitely a valid warning for out there. What kind of winds Louisville's looking at right now? It's like 21 miles per hour so far. We gotta turn the sound off of this. Turn the sound off. Thank God. We still have this warning over here for Falmouth, this tornado warning. Let's take a look into that. It doesn't look very organized, but there's definitely a lot of wind happening up there. Don't really see any obvious hook anymore as well. Amanda, thank you for the update out of Scott County. And if you have any photos or videos you want to send to us, make sure you send them to our Facebook page, Weather Now Kentucky on Facebook. That's the easiest way for us to view them. Maysville, Mount Olivet, Mays Lick, Brooksville, Augusta, now included in that severe warning for 70-mile-per-hour wind gust. Damage threat is considerable on that tag there as well. Hey, GeoBot. GeoBot, are you not want to work tonight? Hey, GeoBot. Okay, it's returning 0 reports right now. That's good news. We now have an 80-mile-per-hour destructive damage threat warning that includes Mount Olivet, well, not Mount Olivet, sorry, Brooksville, Falmouth. Sorry, just getting that adjusted there. And yes, these look the same as the tornado warning boxes. I have no idea why, but that's the default colors the National Weather Service uses. Don't ask me why they use the same color as a tornado warning box. But anyway, for Brooksville, Chilo, Neville, Felicity, Powersville, Neve, 80 miles per hour on the warning tag here. Damage threat is destructive. So again, the bulletin will be a severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 5:15 a.m. Eastern Time. This is a destructive storm for Pendleton and Bracken counties. 80 miles per hour on the wind gust threat. You can kind of in this red, almost the same. It's pink technically, but you can hardly tell the difference in that same kind of box there. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. 55 plus 33, or 53 plus 33, about 86. Again, up here, 70 miles per hour from Maysville, Mount Olivet, Mays Lick, which I'm assuming if this continues on, this will be upgraded to 80 miles per hour as well. But you have these areas here up in Brooksville, Falmouth, Neville, along Highway 19 there, Petra, Neve. 80 miles per hour on the wind gust threat there. I wanted to see if I could change that real quickly. That makes no sense. That's the same color. Wow, why is it so laggy? There we go. It's a little bit easier to see now. Now it's purple. Also, Uh-oh, they may have come out with that new watch. I just saw it flash my right. There it is, but interestingly, it's for Eastern Kentucky. It's not for Central Kentucky. They're just doing all kinds of dude, the SBC's having a wicked day. They have changed the levels so many times. Now they have changed their own Mesoskal discussion here. Just an absolute wicked day for forecasting here. Tornado warnings going to be allowed to be canceled, by the way. I'm going to get this watch put out. Let's turn those discussions off, clean that up a little bit. This is amazing to me. This is amazing to me. That watch was put out over here, but now we have warnings starting to stretch down, getting close to this area that's not included in the watch. This is amazing. I don't know what the heck's happening tonight. All right, I'm gonna get this put out real quickly. Second, guys, I'm getting this new watch put out real quickly. Wow, this is a lot to do on your own at 4 a.m. Going on at 5 a.m. now, actually. Holy cow. How long does this go for? 6 hours until 10 a.m. What does that say, 10 a.m.? Central Time, so 11 a.m. Eastern Time. My word. Dude, this freaking fly. Okay. Waiting on my computer to wake up at some point, and then I'll be back with you guys. I'm just making this post about this watch, but my computer is really, really going slow today. Here we go. Again, those of you that may just now be tuning into us, first of all, good morning to you. You're welcoming, you're waking up to an insane start to your morning here. New tornado watch has been issued for all the way from Pikeville through Jackson, through Beattyville, Richmond, Nicholasville, West Liberty, Sandy Hook, Moorhead, Grayson. I'm assuming I know why now. This looks like it's turning into an MCS almost. That's what it looks like, which is a damaging wind type of event here. You can see the most probable parameter here is winds. There is also a 50% tornado chance in all of yellow as well, which is quite high. But as of right now, across the area, get back into the radar here real quickly. Maysville, Mount Olivet, Mays Lick, Ripley, 70-mile-per-hour wind gust threat is the warning tag here for that area. And this purple kind of box here, 80 miles per hour, a destructive thunderstorm ongoing, exiting Falmouth, heading toward Brooksville right now. And then up here for Cynthiana, Georgetown, Frankfort, Midway, Lawrenceburg, Shelbyville. A severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust is present there. For the greater Louisville area, let's go ahead and highlight that one. Where is that tornado warning at now? Where? Area Meade County. Okay, so I just updated that one there. That's all it was. Oh, no, that's a new one. Okay. So northern Meade County, the very northern tip there by Indiana, is included in that new tornado warning. Let's finish our kind of going back through this. So Cynthiana, Georgetown, Midway, Frankfort, Shelbyville, Lawrenceburg, Lexington, all included in that severe warning there for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Another new warning has just been issued. This is going to be for 70-mile-per-hour wind gust. This is going to be for Moorhead, Flemingsburg, Owensville, Mount Sterling, Camargo. Again, for 70-mile-per-hour wind gust, a considerable severe thunderstorm there. Going back over here to Louisville, Jeffersontown, Hillview, Shepherdsville, Brandenburg, Elk Creek, 60 miles per hour is your severe warning tag there for that area. We also have a tornado warning now for far northern tip of Meade County going into Indiana. Again, for that tornado warning there. Goodness me. Welcome back, Kentucky. It's been a while since we've been in a severe weather show. Not a good thing. It's been a while. You knew it was bound to happen at some point. Yeah, still getting a solid 70 to 80 miles per hour on the velocity readings for just north of Mount Olivet, not really including that area. I haven't seen a whole lot for that area. I'm assuming it's 60 to 70 in there. Maysville, Augusta, Ripley, Mayslick, kind of the areas where we're seeing those higher wind gust returns coming from. And then we have higher wind gust over here towards Cynthiana, Georgetown, Midway, Frankfort, Shelbyville, Elk Creek. Again, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are your threat there. This warning is way out ahead of time for your areas out here toward Owensville, Moorhead, Flemingsburg, Mount Sterling. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts are your threat there. And, of course, coming back over here, we have that tornado warning for far northern Meade County. You can see just that little hook there. I'm assuming that's what that's for. What a radar. This has really woken up. We have a tornado warning that does now include Jefferson County as well. Tornado warning in Spencer, Shelby, Jefferson, kind of over here in the north central Kentucky portion of the area. Again, Simpsonville, J-Town, we have an absolute hook that's developing as well. Again, Louisville, heads up. Tornado warning in your area with a hook that's obviously developing now. We do have some obvious rotation signatures as well. Again, right now we see that hook kind of more developing just southeast of Linview, just northeast or just north of Okolona, heading off toward Petersburg. Again, now tornado warning issued for J-Town, West Butyl, Minor Lane Heights, Fairmount, Seatonville, Wilsonville, Elk Creek, Simpsonville, and then kind of everyone else in between there. This is going to impact places like, or roads like I-64, I-265, I-264. So you definitely have a lot of a population under impact right here for this tornado warning in Jefferson County. Please share the broadcast out for us. If you're just now tuning in here, welcome on in. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with Weather Now Kentucky. You can help us the most by sharing the broadcast out and liking the broadcast. That boosts this video out to your friends and family so that way they can get informed as well. And that's, kind of helps us to help more Kentuckians out. So thank you very much for doing your part. We have tornado warning active in J-Town, which is Jefferson County.
No new high-priority Kentucky storm reports right now.
Thank you for scaring the absolute crap out of me, GeoBot. Goodness gracious. I forgot we have her on right now. Scare the absolute crap out of me. Jeez Louise. Anyway, we have that warning for tornado out there in far northern Meade County. Tornado warning for Jefferson County as well. Reading the bulletin here, it's for Spencer, Shelby, Jefferson, and Bullock County. At 4:47, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Newburgh, moving east at 25 miles per hour. And I haven't forgotten about you folks out here in eastern Kentucky yet. We still have those 70-mile-per-hour severe thunderstorm warnings out here for Moorhead, Flemingsburg, Owensville, Mount Sterling, Camargo. Again, that's your 70-mile-per-hour kind of polygon there. Storms have not arrived yet, just kind of getting that warning out early, because this portion of the line is moving significantly faster than the other portion of the line. Over here toward Maysville, Mount Olivet, Mayslick, Brooksville, 70 miles per hour is your wind threat there. Damage threat is also considerable for that area. Over here for Carlisle, Paris, North Middletown, Sharpsburg, Georgetown, Frankfort, Lawrenceburg, Shelbyville, and Lexington. 60 miles per hour is your damaging wind gust threat there for that box. Again, over here for Hillview, Elk Creek, Brandenburg, 60 miles per hour is your warning tag there. And of course, sandwiched in that side of that same polygon, you have 2 tornado warnings active right now as well. Okay, over here for Mount Olivet, Mayslick, Maysville, Ripley, Augusta, you have now been upgraded to an 80 mile per hour threat. So this is definitely a destructive and a life threatening thunderstorm that's happening right now up here for the far northeastern, northern portion, whatever you want to call it, portion of Kentucky over here. Let's go ahead and switch to the radar over here in Wilmington, Ohio, and take a look at what we have going on here. Yeah, we just got a rocket fuel of winds over here. And you can just still see as we're measuring 86, 77, 76, 75, 69, 72, 75, 70, 75, 74. So a lot of 75s happening. A lot of 75s happening. There's your 80, 81, 82, 82. And again, most of that is just a tick north of Mount Olivet out there, but also we'll clip that area. Maysville kind of directly in the impact of this. Let's go ahead and do a storm track toll on Maysville real quickly, and then we'll come back to the Jefferson County storm here in just one moment. Go ahead and do that. Maysville will be in your area in about 16 minutes. The focus of that damaging wind threat of 80 miles per hour out there. Let's go ahead and check back in on this Louisville storm here. I guess the guy that runs the camera out there isn't awake right now, so we can't have him turn it south. Don't really see a whole lot of rotation here. Let's see, there's still that hook. Slight little hook there. Also, this storm is really close to this radar, so it might be a good idea to turn our tilt up a little bit. And yeah, we see a little activity there. Just above the surface, there's a little bit of rotation happening. That would be more toward Hollow Creek, Fern Creek, kind of in this area here in Jefferson County. I know it's kind of hard to see because of the red that's happening. A lot of red on the radar right now. But kind of right in there would be your rotation if anything were to be occurring here and would be heading off in this direction. So you're more so looking at it crossing over I-265 here in a few minutes. That's more of your obvious concern with that warning. And heading through Fern Creek and then out towards Seatonville and Route. Wow, this radar is loaded. Again, in yellow, if you're just now tuning in as well, is that new tornado watch that has been issued. It ironically does not include any of central Kentucky at this point, although we're keeping an eye on these storms back out here towards southwestern Indiana to see how kind of they interact with things, because western Kentucky actually has the better amount of focus energy, whereas eastern Kentucky has a better amount of just pure wind energy that's happening. So kind of an interesting conundrum that's happening throughout portions of the Commonwealth this morning. Gonna do some looking around the radar real quickly. We also have a little notch out here too, so I wonder if they're going to put a tornado possible tag on this or not. Who's the office out? This has got to be Wilmington, right? Yeah. Got a little bit of a notch there, so there could be something a little spinny. Just a little notch right there. I want to see how it lines up with the reflectivity real quickly. Well, that seems to be on the backside. Well, what time did this scan come through? 4:52 and 4:53.
Wind damage near 38.20, 84.5. Large tree down on Douglas Avenue associated with wind damage. Power flashes were also. This is preliminary and not yet an official NWS local storm report.
Thank you, GeoBot. Well, you guys unfortunately got to see Geobot for the first time. That will make her a little bit bigger. The good thing we have Geobot, but you don't want to ever see Geobot. You know what I mean? That means there's obviously damages ongoing. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We are live on both YouTube and Facebook this morning, so you can watch wherever you want. Except for TikTok, we keep getting banned on there, but that's just, it is what it is. I don't see anything happening there. Again, right now, kind of my main focus is obviously your tornado warning that's happening out here for Jefferson County toward J-Town, Elk Creek, Hollow Creek, Thixton, Whitfield, so on and so forth. And then, of course, out here for our folks and our friends up toward Maysville, Mayslick, Mount Olivet, Brooksville, Ripley, where we have 80-mile-per-hour wind gust ongoing in these areas here. As you can see, according to the warning that's being issued, 80 miles per hour, a destructive severe thunderstorm warning out there for portions of northern Kentucky toward Maysville, Mayslick, Ripley, so on and so forth. Over here toward Moorhead, Owensville, Sharpsburg, Mount Sterling, Camargo, Flemingsburg. 70-mile-per-hour wind gust threat coming in with this line as it gets into your area. A tornado will also be possible for that area as well. Over here for Lexington, North Middletown, Carlisle, Paris, Georgetown, Midway, Frankfort, Lawrenceburg, Shelbyville. 60 miles per hour is your wind gust threat with that polygon. Over here for the Louisville area, Brandenburg, Hillview, and more areas in that area. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust is your threat there. Of course, you do have that tornado warning box also for the J-Town area and kind of surrounding areas throughout Louisville, Simpsonville, and Middletown. That's kind of your scan through the radar there. If you're just now tuning in with us this morning as well, we have that tornado watch that has been expanded down here into eastern Kentucky. Of course, your tornado odds are 50%, your hail odds are 20%, and your wind odds are 80%. So your wind gust is your primary threat. And I'm going to turn off that tornado watch now just so the radar is a little bit easier to see there. I know with that bright yellow tornado watch, it's a little difficult to see everything that's happening there. There's no need to be scared. Just make sure you're staying indoors and being safe. Dang freaking flies. All of our bright lights in here are just attracting all the flies tonight, apparently. Yeah, this portion of the line is producing some insane wind gusts up there in northern Kentucky. We're already getting some high readings back on the Kentucky Mesonet website. Yes, there's a bug with some of our warnings coming through that some of them are listed aren't included in Kentucky. We're still actively working on that, trying to figure out what's causing that. I think the server's getting confused on some of the counties that are close to Kentucky. Logan, thank you for the
No new high
update
priority
Robertson
Kentucky
County.
storm reports right now.
Thank you, GeoBot. Is Bowman Field area in that tornado warning box? I see Louisville Muhammad Ali is. I don't see Bowman Field in there. Up there, it's technically no. Wow, that was close. So it's Harder County clear? No, I'm not giving an all clear to anyone yet, except unless the line's already passed you. Just because you don't currently have a watch doesn't mean that there's not anything possible. Kind of watching and seeing how it trends. Eventually, it will drop south and come over Hardin County. It's just a matter of what it looks like at that point. Patrick, thank you for the 20 stars on Facebook. I appreciate that. It says, keep up the good work, my dude. Thank you. Kentucky says just took the dog outside and it was thick, warm, humid air outside. Yeah, it feels a lot different even here at 5 a.m. than it did last night. That warm and humid air is back into Kentucky, and a big reason why we're dealing with all of this right now. Again, if you're just now hopping on here with us, all of these in orange are your severe warnings. Again, most of these for 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts. For example, out here toward Moorhead, Owensville, 70 miles per hour is the threat there. Georgetown, Lawrenceburg, Lexington, North Middletown, Carlisle, 60 miles per hour is your wind gust threat there. Brandenburg, Hillview, Louisville, 60 miles per hour. Tornado warning in red for Jeffersontown, Linview, Minor Lane Heights, Middletown, Simpsonville, and Elk Creek. Over here toward the northern Kentucky area, toward Maysville, Manchester, Mays-Lick, 80 miles per hour is the threat there with a destructive damage threat on that severe warning tag out in Maysville. Looks like they just downgraded it back down to 70. Thank goodness. You never want to see. It's something about going over that 65, 70 threshold. Once you get to 80, there are a lot of damages that happen. It almost looks like a tornado rip through there. And so I'm really happy to see that that's come back down now. Me a Mountain Dew. It feels so illegal to be drinking a Mountain Dew at 5 o'clock in the morning, but here we are. I really want some coffee, but I can't go in and just make coffee right now, obviously. So we now have over here toward Vanceburg, Portsmouth, Portsmouth out. What is that? West Virginia, Ohio. Gets over the border is right now. My eyeballs hurt. 70 mile per hour wind gust threat is the tag out there. So it looks like it's becoming a really windy storm system. Really, it looks more like an MCS at this point. And you can see Tornado ID from WeatherWise is picking up on a lot of rotations happening over here toward Maysville. Doesn't mean there's tornado on the ground. It's just picking up on some characteristics. Near Flemingsburg. And then on the eastern side of this warning polygon, just east of J-Town towards Simpsonville, it's picking up on some rotations happening somewhere near there as well. But here's kind of the outlook of your radar right now. Elizabeth, thank you for the 50 stars. I appreciate that. Kenny, thank you for your 99 stars. I appreciate you as well. Thank you for your kind words. Joel, thank you for your 99 stars. I appreciate you, my friend. Stacy, Owensboro may just see that backside rain at this point. It's we gotta just have to watch that tail end of that radar there. That portion of the line is just stalling out, going incredibly slow. Still see a lot of people asking about or telling me they don't really have a safe spot to go. Guys, look at the bottom left. We have a storm shelter partner. Go use them. Covenant Storm Shelter. Bottom left, you'll see their name and number. This is why you don't wait until there's a storm happening to think about these things. You go get them done. Patrick, thank you for your 200 stars. I appreciate you, my friend. No, we're not worried about the future radar right now because we're looking at what's actually happening. We have way too many warnings right now to be doing stuff like that. Thank you for asking. Hey guys, if you're looking for forecast information on what to expect for today, that's all over our social medias. You can go look at that information right now. We're covering what's actually happening. Tornado warning was canceled. So right now we're left with just a slew of severe thunderstorm warnings that are out there right now. Again, Vanceburg, this portion of Kentucky, 70
No new
mile
high
per hour wind
priority
gust
Kentucky
threat.
storm reports right now.
Thank you, GeoBot. I'm going to have to mute her right now for a little bit. 70 mile per hour wind gust threat. She automatically checks in with us every 5 minutes, by the way, if you didn't know that. 70 mile per hour wind gust threat there for that warning out there in eastern Kentucky. Of course, 70 mile per hour threat is your warning out here for Flemingsburg, Moorhead, Owensville, Mount Sterling, Camargo, Sharpsburg as well. Over here for Carlisle, Paris, North Middletown, Lexington, Lawrenceburg, Georgetown, Frankfort, and Shelbyville. 60 miles per hour is your wind gust threat there. Dude, trying to say all of these city names while you have had absolutely zero sleep is not the easiest thing in the world to do. I promise you. Wow. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust threat is your threat over here for Louisville, Hillview, Brandenburg, Corydon, and Elizabeth, Indiana. That's all your warnings there right now. Right now, guys, we're just kind of focused on this line and where it's at and where it's currently impacting. This line will eventually make its way through almost all of Kentucky at some point, either this morning or this afternoon or this evening. Because you can see back out here to the southwest or the northwestern portion of Kentucky, there are some more storms starting to spark. So at some point, you're probably going to see a storm this morning. So just know that. Just know that. We do. Just also know the entire state of Kentucky is included in the Violent Tornado Index Bullseye too. So there's energy everywhere. There are storms starting to grow everywhere. So at this point, I think everyone can probably stop asking if it's going to hit you because it's probably going to get you at some point. It's just a matter of what it looks like by the time it gets there, and we'll let you know. And you guys know I'm a straight shooter. I'm shooting you straight. At some point, you're probably going to see a strong to severe storm today. There's a lot of energy in our state today, even for 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, guys, it is freaking 5 o'clock in the morning out there. And just to kind of show you, it's 80 degrees. Yeah, I know you're probably like, what the heck happened? Well, warm front lifted into us overnight while you were sleeping. Look at the dew points. Up into the 70s. It feels a lot different outside than it did last night. So everyone in the state has an environment that can support strong to severe thunderstorms. So, again, it's just a matter of when, not really if, these come to your area. It's just a matter of when kind of these storm cells kind of get together here, and we'll see what they do. And I wonder is there a discussion out here for Western Kentucky? There has to be with these cells that are happening or deforming out here. There has to be, right? No, just a rain one. And I just spilled a Mountain Dew all over my shirt. So now you know we're really rocking and rolling. We're really rocking and rolling. I'm an absolute mess. What about Louisville, Kentucky? Well, you have a very strong thunderstorm going on there right now. Flash flooding is probably going to become your primary concern, though, because you've just been getting dumped rain on. Matter of fact, how much rain have you had over the last little bit out there in Louisville? I'm just curious because it's just been dumping rain. It has just been dumping rain. Over the last 1 hour, Louisville has received anywhere between 1 to 3 inches of rainfall. Out here just north of Shelbyville, almost 3 inches. Just in the last hour. Yeah, flash flooding becomes a big concern for me out in that Louisville area. A lot of rainfall with this line. Especially Louisville because they have both those lines kind of stall over them and kind of merge together there. I've been Louisville and it's dry here, but you must be in the far southwestern portion of the county where it just hasn't gotten to yet. It'll get to you. Let's check out this line out here toward eastern Kentucky, shall we? Don't really see a whole lot of rotation here, which is good news. Looks like a lot of straight line winds. A lot of straight line winds. Hey, eastern Kentucky, get ready to learn wind because there's a lot of wind with this. Just widespread 60 to 70 across this entire portion of this line right now. Again, this will track southeast, kind of east-southeast here. So next up would be, after these warnings, would be like West Liberty, Stanton, Sandy Hook, Grayson, Olive Hill, Ashland, and Nicholasville. Nicholasville is one of my low-key favorite cities in the state. Georgetown is too. I really like going to Georgetown for some reason. They have a really good Waffle House there. Just a fun fact for you.
No new high-priority Kentucky storm reports right now.
Thank you, GeoBot. Please help. The tornado sirens are going off in Louisville. We've already talked about that. Tornado sirens should be off in Louisville now. I can't help if they are still putting those out, but there's no active tornado warning in Louisville. You lost power. You never lose power. By the way, just to be very clear here, absolutely no one's getting an all clear for me unless this line's already past you. So that's really only Northern Kentucky, like Independence, Owenton, Campbellsburg, Brooksville, Williamstown, Sadieville, and that sort of area. No one's getting an all clear for me unless the line is past you, and you will know if this line is past you. I wonder how much lightning we have out here right now. Let's turn the lightning on from WeatherWise here. Wow, that's a lot of lightning. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of lightning. Just going back through here, just looking for any hooks or anything that may be occurring throughout the radar. Grayson, Olive Hill, you are now included in that severe warning for 70-mile-per-hour wind gust. In about, it'll be, I guess you'll be there in about 15, 20 minutes or so. Let's take a look out there for that radar out in Wilmington. Actually, Jackson might be the better radar to use here. Wow, this portion of the line must be absolutely hauling. Well, about 55 miles an hour. Flash flooding warning now for Shelbyville, Frankfort, Stamping Ground, and those areas in north central Kentucky to go along with Louisville, J-Town, LaGrange, so on and so forth. Something just woke me up. Anything happening in Lexington? Yes, you have a severe storm moving to you, capable of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Is Meade still under a warning? Yes, the northern half of Meade County is. Well, the sirens are only supposed to go off for tornadoes, so it's a good thing that the Lexington area is not having those warnings or those sirens go off. Right now, there are no active tornado warnings throughout the state. A couple of these severe warnings, though, also have tornado possible tags on them. Really, it's just this one. Moorhead, Mount Sterling, and Salt Lick has that tornado possible tag on it. Still keeping an eye. I still see a lot of people asking in Western Kentucky, Central Kentucky, if you guys are safe. Obviously, there's no storms happening there right now, but we need to keep an eye on these little cells that are popping up out here in Western, or Southern Illinois. We need to see kind of what those bad boys are intending on doing out there. What a mean line of storms we've got going on here. What a mean line. Sirens have stopped in Mount Washington. Does that mean I'm going to go back to sleep here? Well, the sirens were really never for you in Mount Washington. They were for they were really for just the county that you were in. But the line hasn't really made it to you yet, so your severe threat is not over. New severe warning has just come out for Taylorsville, Shepherdsville, Lawrenceburg. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust there on that warning. Someone asked about Indiana. I don't really cover Indiana, but it looks like that portion that you're talking about is a non-severe thunderstorm right now. Yeah, Florence is good to go. Once the line gets past you, you're good to go. Trust me, you will know when it gets past you. Anthony, thank you for your $2 super chat. Yeah, I would say you're probably pretty good to go. The worst side's definitely past you. I see a lot of people asking if we can zoom the map in different areas. Remember, we cover all of Kentucky here, so it's not really fair for me to just go like this, focus on one area, and then leave out everybody else. You know what I mean? Periodically, we will go through and kind of zoom in and scan things. But when we do kind of when I try to pan over here to ask or to answer questions for a couple minutes, it's going to stay on this kind of this general view here. Shelbyville is obviously under that severe warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Yes, there are no active tornado warnings right now. There's no way. Is that the real faithful sheriff? It is. Well, let's go ahead and ban him. Have a good one. Anna, thank you for becoming a subscriber on Facebook. I appreciate you. Why did you ban the faithful sheriff? He's a pedophile. Just clear that up real quickly. All right. Jeffersontown. Looks like much of that severe threat is past you now. Because you're kind of just getting a lot of heavy rainfall and a lot of lightning right now as well. All right, let's go ahead and go back through the radar here real quickly. Shall we?
No new high priority Kentucky storm reports right now.
No, GeoBot, I was not asking you to go back through the radar. Vanceburg, Portsmouth, Vanceburg, Portsmouth, Vanceburg. Nice one, George. Looks like we definitely have some rotation starting to occur there. There's no tornado possible attack on this warning box. That's kind of interesting. There's definitely a little bit of rotation that's happening over there toward just north of Vanceburg, just east of Maysville. This warning box, by the way, is for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Same thing for Grayson and Olive Hill. Moorhead, Owingsville. Looks like you have a solid severe storm rolling through there now. 70-mile-per-hour wind gust in that area. North Middletown. Well, they downgraded that to 60. Kind of in a little bit of that radar gap there for a little bit. It's kind of just a little bit too far from all the radars there. Anyway, over here toward Lexington, Georgetown, Midway, Lawrenceburg, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are your threat there in that area. Hillersville, Mount Washington, Shepherdsville, Hillview, Shelbyville, Frankfort, Georgetown. Again, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts in all those cities I just mentioned there, and everyone kind of in between. Cynthia, of the storm line is kind of it's I always get Cynthia and Carrollton confused for whatever reason. But yes, the main bulk of it is past you. You're good to go. Someone said good morning, y'all bot. Oh no, she said good morning, y'all Brit. It looked like y'all bot at first. I was about to say you're in the wrong stream. In the wrong stream, my friend. What's the status on Louisville? Mainly a flash flood threat I'm concerned about right now. On the southern side of the county, it looks like there's still a little bit of some damaging winds occurring as well. Yes, Flemingsburg, you are okay now. Again, once this main line is past you guys are good. This storm line is moving south-southeast at this point. South-southeast. So that basically means, I know sometimes that gets a little confusing. So you got south, well, maybe I could draw a better line here. South, southeast. So if you do an arrow on that, to kind of help you guys maybe understand that some people don't know, you would do kind of something like that. It's kind of how these storms are moving. Jessica, thank you for your 99 stars. I appreciate you, my friend. Still keeping an eye on these little cells out here. They're a little interesting. They're in an environment that's pretty much untouched. Wonder, is there? Let me just do a little bit of digging real quick, guys. There's no cap. Okay. All right. I think it's pretty saturated there in the 750. Oh yeah, I mean, if these storms out in Western Kentucky want to do something, they absolutely can. That is a ripe environment. I will tell you the bullseye, based on what I saw right there, the bullseye of kind of the storm ingredients, right here, right here. The good news is there's currently no storms targeting this area, so let's hope it stays that way. That's where kind of the bullseye is right now of all those ingredients we just looked at. Kind of the best overlap, if you will. Thankfully, there's no storms targeting that area right now, but if there is one that sparks there, we'll have to keep a really close eye on it. Again, just going back through for those of you, by the way, good morning, if you're just now waking up. We do have several warnings out there. Again, 70 mile per hour is your threat over here for Vanceburg, Olive Hill, and Grayson. 70 mile per hour wind gusts are your threat there. Moorhead, Owingsville, Mount Sterling, Camargo, 70 mile, or sorry, I forgot they downgraded that. 60 miles per hour is your wind gust threat there. Lexington, Lawrenceburg, North Middletown, Georgetown, Midway, kind of your polygon right here in the middle. 60 miles per hour is your wind threat there on that severe warning. Taylorsville, Hillview, Shepherdsville, Elk Creek, 60 miles per hour is your wind gust threat there on that severe warning. We do have flash flood warnings over here for Louisville, J-Town, Shively, kind of that general area. And then over here for Shelbyville, Frankfort, Stamping Ground, and Georgetown, flash flood warnings in those areas too. And we're still just kind of keeping a loose eye on what's happening over here in Western Kentucky. Right now, they're kind of staying pretty good. What are the lapse rates over here? I feel like that's probably why these are just not really doing anything at this point. Because these should be, yeah, lapse rates are pretty bad.
No new high priority Kentucky storm reports right now.
They're okay in the mid levels. But these storms have a wide open environment. If they want to do anything, they can. So that's why I'm keeping a close eye on them. They almost look more like baby supercells at this point. Matt, what's up, my friend? Thank you for the 20 stars, dude. That's Matt from. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Hang on. Never mind. Let me back up. Hardsburg feels weird. No storms hitting it. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm really interested to see what this stuff in southwest Indiana and northwest Kentucky is going to do. We do have some lightning out here now, which means these storms are growing. And you kind of see this one starting to get a little bit of that curve to it. I mean, and it's rotating. I'm telling you, we need to keep an eye on these. Morganfield, Henderson. I know we're nothing really going on there right now, so you're probably like, what in the world is he talking about? But I think we've got to keep a close eye on these out here. This is a wide open environment that has not been touched at all. It is primed and ready to produce strong to severe weather. And now we've got lightning on this cell just popping up everywhere. This cell's absolutely growing and maturing. I wouldn't be all that shocked to see this maybe turn into a severe warning here very soon. I just accidentally opened QGIS again. So really interested. I know there's nothing there right now with it, but if that wants to do something, it can. That's just what I'm saying. If that wants to do something, it can, and it can do anything in that environment out there. It is ripe. That's why I was a little bit surprised we didn't see that watch get issued over there. I don't know what that was about. And from what I know, there's still really no discussion to have a watch issued out there. TD, thank you for your $2 super chat. Yes, you can go back to sleep. Just keep an eye on the flash flooding out there. Their 60-mile-per-hour severe warning is now being expanded into Sandy Hook, Frenchburg, and West Liberty out there in far eastern Kentucky. Just taking a look here to see if there's any discussions about extending this watch. I don't see anything. Update for Moorhead, 60-mile-per-hour severe thunderstorm warning there. Line will be in your area here very soon. This is pushing southeast. Severe warning for this kind of general area is going to be allowed to expire. So again, Georgetown, Lexington, Lawrenceburg, North Middletown. Your warning is going to be allowed to expire here very soon. Is there a special weather statement over here on this one? No special weather statement either. I'm just going to quickly check back in on the radar over here. That's just interesting. I don't know if I'm misreading this, which is definitely possible, but I mean, this thing's rotating. Not like tornadic rotation yet, but definitely enough to potentially at least issue a special weather statement, right? Yeah, 45. 45-mile-per-hour winds ongoing there. I don't know if maybe I'm misreading it. I have no idea, which is definitely possible. A quick update here. This line is now approaching the Olive Hill, Grayson area very soon. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts is still the threat there. Moorhead, it's in your area now. Salt Lick, Mount Sterling, Jeffersonville, Kentucky, Frenchburg, Sandy Hook, West Liberty, Easel. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts is your threat there as that line gets a little bit closer to you over the next 20 to 40 minutes or so. Again, the warning here for this big warning here for Lexington, Lawrenceburg, Georgetown, Paris, so on and so forth, Carlisle, that's going to be allowed to expire. Over here for Taylorsville, Mount Washington, Hillview, Shepherdsville, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust is the warning tag there. Justin, thank you for the 99-cent super chat. I appreciate you, my friend. Nathan, thank you for your $2 super chat. I appreciate you, my friend. They're expiring that one, but they're keeping this one. Oh, because it starts. Okay, I see. Sorry, I didn't see the overlap there at first. I was like, what in the world? Starting to see a purple core here now. Am I missing something? Oh my goodness. Jeffersontown, Kentucky. Sirens are off now. Can I come out of the closet? We're talking about the J-Town up there at Louisville. You could have been out of the closet 40 minutes ago.
No new high priority Kentucky storm reports right now.
Thank you, GeoBot. The good news is there's really not a whole lot of storm reports coming in. So hopefully that means these are not really producing that much damage. Can Lowell go back to sleep? Yes. Keep an eye on the flash flood levels up there, though. We haven't seen a tornado in a hot minute. Maybe this line is done with those. No, I don't think so. There's still a lot of wind shear with this, so I definitely wouldn't just completely drop that tornado threat at this point. Kellen, thank you for that update out of Maysville. Welcome in again to everyone. Good morning to you. Thank you all for liking and sharing the broadcast. I appreciate that a ton as well. Thank you for all the likes and shares. That helps us to grow. Also helps to get the information out to your friends and family on your news feed. We're at about 530 likes on Facebook, so hopefully we can get that up a little bit more. I think we had a goal of like getting 1,000 likes on one of the videos. That's just a goal of ours. Again, just to point out here, as we go back through, Lexington, Winchester, your portion of the warning has been allowed to expire. Taylorsville, Lawrenceburg, Shepherdsville, your warning still continues on for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. Over here for Frenchburg, Sandy Hook, West Liberty, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust on this warning as it passes through Moorhead and comes down into your area. Over here for Grayson, Greenup, Franklin Furnace. What kind of city name is that? It sounds like they named it after a shop or something. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust is your 70-mile-per-hour. No, they did down it to 60. Is your wind gust right there. So it looks like overall that portion line, I don't want to jinx it. Maybe starting to come down back to earth a little bit. Man, that got rowdy. Goodness gracious. I don't want to jinx it because, with a lot of the times with these types of storm systems, they can do a whole lot of pulsing up and down. You know what I mean? And I really just want to keep an eye on all this convection that's happening over here toward western Kentucky as well. As we're starting to see a little bit more lightning happening with this. A little bit more rain. Losing a little bit of that broad rotation we saw earlier, which is always good news. But, you always have to watch for when they start to ingest these other rain showers and cells around them. Okay, while we have a quick moment to breathe, a lot of you were asking about the future radar. I'm going to give you a second to find where you're at on the map. And we're going to just put this into the model mode here and show you the latest ARRR model. Okay. Now, it may not be 100% accurate on things. But at least give you kind of an overall view here of what to expect. I'll wait till that clears. Don't worry. So this is valid for 6 a.m., which is obviously getting close to where we are now. You can already see the model's a little bit off. The storm line's going a little bit faster than the model is trying to project, but overall, I'll give you kind of a decent look as to what to expect here. It does see those storms out in western Kentucky eventually forming into maybe a strong to severe line. It's going to be really close. By about 8 a.m. Eastern time, as you can see, really begins to ignite that storm line over northwest Kentucky there. Storm line continues to progress to the eastern portions of Kentucky, the one that we're seeing now. By about 9 a.m., this is what it looks like. So kind of stalling around the same area, so going very slow. Kind of indicating to me that maybe the severe threat's pretty low with this, but we'll keep an eye on it for you guys, of course. As we get to about 10 to 11, looks like some of the activity starts to shut off from the west, go more toward the east there. And then by the time we get to about lunchtime, which is what the models were showing yesterday as well, is that we get a little bit more of this reinvigoration or reignition of these storms to happen, basically along the parkways. And then we go throughout the early afternoon hours, just kind of skip forward here a little bit. This is valid for 3 p.m. Eastern time. So you kind of see you have that arc of storms there. And then for about 4 to 5 p.m., this is actually around 6 p.m., there could be, backing up to 5 p.m. here Eastern time, there could be some strong to severe storms out there for south central and southeastern Kentucky where you're seeing these storms at now. Places like Scottsville, Bowling Green, Columbia, Somerset, Whitley City, Campton, so on and so forth. But I don't know how big that severe threat will be because what we're seeing now is going to impact that storm system. I don't think it'll be that great of a severe threat. Probably looking at an isolated damaging wind threat. I do know from looking at the models yesterday for tomorrow, or I guess today, that we do not have a whole lot of wind shear for the storm system tomorrow, or I guess this evening. Gosh, I've been up so long here that I'm getting kind of confused on what day it is at this point. But again, it looks to be lacking a little bit of
No
wind
new high
ingredients
priority
for.
Kentucky storm reports right now.
Thank you, GeoBot. I got to turn her cooldown up. But anyway, damaging wind threat tomorrow for south central, southeastern Kentucky. I don't really see a tornadic threat. Advances forward about 7 p.m. tonight. You'll see the showers are still ongoing out there in south central and southeastern Kentucky. 8 to 9. It tries to spark some. I have no idea if it'll actually do that or not. Either way, there will just likely be rain or thunder showers at that point. So that's kind of what I was saying is like, hey, just the time frame really doesn't matter as much. Just know it's going to be storming off and on pretty much of the day today. Here is your tornado outlook for today, or for tonight, this afternoon, and this evening, I should say. You can see there is no tornado risk with that line of storms later on this afternoon and evening. It is only a wind risk. That's the great news. And I do agree with that, by the way. That's what I saw in the models last night when I was looking for tonight. I didn't see any real tornado potential, and the SPC has not really put any tornado potential there as well. So that's really good news there. I'm going to turn that watch back on just to see if any new watches have been issued. I don't see anything there. And it looks like they are also starting to trim off where the line has already gone through. So that's good news there as well. So far, there are no discussions or no watches out here for Western Kentucky. We're going to turn that watch back off because we've already posted about this. You guys should know if you're in a watch or not. It says on your phone too. Let's go back through the radar real quickly here. Severe warning over here for Grayson, Louisa, Ashland, Kentucky. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, the threat there. Tornado possible tag on that as well. Over here for West Liberty, Sandy Hook, and Frenchburg. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust is the only real threat there. Again, for the Lexington and general area there in central eastern Kentucky, no severe warning in that area. And then over here for Shepherdsville, Taylorsville, Elk Creek, and Lawrenceburg, 60 miles per hour is your severe warning threat there on the wind gust. And again, that goes for about another 7 minutes or so. We are, once again, obviously keeping an eye on these storms that are popping out toward northwestern Kentucky. But it looks like they're already starting to form a line, so this might just be rain-dominant storms out here. That's kind of what we're looking at right now on the radar and that model data. So hopefully that helped answer and clear up some of those questions you guys were absolutely spamming about. You guys should know if you're in a tornado watch. We don't. That's why we're watching the view. That was so unprofessional. I'm just saying, like, if you look on your phone, the smart alerts on your phone, the emergency broadcast alerts would pop up if you were in a tornado watch. That's all I was saying. I wasn't saying like you should know or not, like that. And again, there are other broadcasts you guys can watch if you don't like how we do things around here. We're honest. Yeah, local severe threat should be pretty much done. That environment should be pretty worked over there. What time will it come through Brandenburg? We just did the model sweep there. So, I mean, again, storms off and on pretty much all morning, going through the afternoon and evening. Yeah, Stacy, you'll get a big screaming alert on your phone in Owensboro anyway. I mean, you should be good to go out there. If the stream is too tiny for you, you can turn your phone sideways. That makes everything a little bit bigger. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, you can turn it sideways or watch on your TV. As we just did the model sweep there, so hopefully you guys got to see a lot of what that, the timing and everything was. Again, it's just going to be storm off and on pretty much all day today. Now, I will say once we get to about 9 to 10 a.m., even now, really, the tornado threat is really decreasing rapidly. We're really looking at more so the damaging wind threat. Louisville, Kentucky, that severe threat seems to be done for with, in my opinion. Same thing for Crestwood, Kentucky. I saw someone ask about that as well. Again, once the storm line gets past you, you're pretty much good to go. And you trust me, you'll know when it gets past you. You'll hear it.
No new high priority Kentucky storm reports right now.
Someone said making us watch ads during this is diabolical. I have the ads turned off. That's YouTube for you. Welcome to social media in 2026. Elite, Google it. It'll tell you. A lot of people are just obviously fishing for responses. Ban that person. Yes, there is a tornado possible tag on the storm near Ashland, Kentucky. That is correct. In Moorhead, Kentucky, go back to bed? Most likely, yes. It's like you're just about out of that severe warning box, and the front of the line is already past you. Digital planner, you can email me, George at WNKWX.com, and I'll get you taken care of. Now I'm bored. Tell us more about that Faithful Sheriff guy. Faithful Sheriff is a wannabe popular streamer that has rebranded himself to try and hide what he was back in the day, which is a child person. That's why we banned that person. Okay. Measure some of these wind gusts out here. I don't really see any real hooks or anything like that for out here in Eastern Kentucky, so I don't really see a tornado being all that possible on this Ashland, Canonsburg, Grayson storm. I do see 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts definitely in there. The Sandy Hook storm, let's take a little bit of a look there, see what's happening. Not really a whole lot there. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust seems to be a fair assessment for the Sandy Hook, West Liberty, Frenchburg, and Jeffersonville storms out in Eastern Kentucky. Over here for North Central Kentucky, I'm assuming they're going to allow this warning to expire for Taylorsville, Mount Washington, Lawrenceburg, so on and so forth. Thank you again for everyone liking and sharing the broadcast. I appreciate you guys spreading some love tonight. Thank you very much. Or I guess it's morning now. I don't know. It's been a long one. Yeah, that warning's gonna be allowed to expire, which means we're left with just Eastern Kentucky in the warnings for now. What a plot twist of the night, in my opinion. Devin, that's correct. Exactly. We're a full partner on YouTube, so that means the ads are on by default. It's the same thing for Ryan Hall. That's why when you go into Ryan Hall's stream, he has ads on too. Same thing. But I can't do nothing about that, Bubba. Bob the Builder, thank you for your $5 super chat. I appreciate that. It says Montgomery County here. Can I go to bed or tornado? Again, I don't see any active tornado threats right now. Danny, thank you for becoming a subscriber on Facebook for the extra level of support there. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Can London go to bed? Yeah, you got like 6 or 7 hours, so that's where mine gets to you. You're good to go, Danny. Again, right now, our only active severe warnings are over here in Eastern Kentucky. This is it. These are our only active severe warnings. So right now, no one else has a severe threat at the moment. Don't want to say that it's all clear, of course, so don't get those two things confused. But right now, our only active warnings over here for Frenchburg, West Liberty, Sandy Hook, Grayson, Ironton, Ashland, Cattlesburg, Louisa, all for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. There is a tornado possible tag on this one for the Ashland, Louisa storm. I don't see it. What was that noise? Looks like we might have a little outflow maybe happening. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. It's easier to see outflows on radar scope. I love WeatherWise. You guys know that. I'll tell you guys to use WeatherWise. I work for WeatherWise now, but it is way easier to see outflows on radar scope. Something about this radar just really good with the fine details, but it looks hideous. It looks hideous. No, I don't see any outflow there, by the way. Will it be bad in Ratcliffe or Elizabethtown? Again, you're not included in any watches right now. Look the kids up in Vanceburg and put them in the hallway. Isn't Vanceburg out here? I will admit to you guys, I'm not as common. Yeah, Vanceburg. There you go. Well, your severe threat should be over. You might see some leftover gusty winds on the backside here, but that main line has passed you. Maysville, your severe threat should be over for now. Again, there may be a low end severe threat later on this afternoon and evening for a whole different storm line, but that should be strictly winds. Strictly straight line winds. There's no tornado threat and really no hail threat with it as well. Should be strictly straight line winds. Is Lawrenceburg good? Yeah, right now you're just seeing a strong thunderstorm. No severe warnings on that yet. There were. Those have since been canceled or allowed to expire. Starting to see a lot of rain beginning to form in front of this. Again, maybe indicating to me that the storm line is starting to weaken, which would make sense because it is 6 o'clock in the freaking morning. Is Pike, Kentucky going to get a tornado? Again, that's impossible to answer a specific city seeing a tornado in the future. I can just say I believe it's a 2% risk. South of Louisa in that 60-mile-per-hour severe warning box. Devin, thank you for your 99 stars. I appreciate that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. Well, I've got your back now.
No new high priority Kentucky storm reports right now.
GeoBot, shut up. Is Olive Hill going to... I'm guessing you mean Olive Hill, Peyton? That storm line's already passed you, so that severe threat's pretty much over for your area. Yeah, once that kind of this front half of the storm line gets past you, your severe threat really goes down. Your flash flood threat then goes up. Flemingsburg, that severe part of the line has been past you for about an hour now. You're good. All these flies in here tonight. My goodness. Okay, why does this person keep telling me they're live? Can we stop? Yeah, Western Kentucky. I think you're pretty much good over there. I mean, a lot of these storms, you got some storms forming over there, but they're becoming already kind of into a line, and they're becoming mainly rain dominated. But I still want to keep an eye on it. Just they could form into an MCS, I suppose, but there's a lot of wind shear out there. So we'll keep an eye on it. But right now, there's been really no severe threat for you, and no watch or anything even considered for that area. Reading some in the comments right now. Yes, very low for Ashland. Just got quiet in Shelbyville. Well, that's because the main part of the line just passed you. You're good to go out there. Yes, this storm line will continue to weaken as it heads more southeast. Those that were curious about that, this storm line will continue to weaken. Bedtime in Brandenburg yet? Well, I mean, I guess you've stayed up so long. You know, you got a storm over you right now. Might as well wait and see what this does. You know what I mean? You've already been up, long enough. I wouldn't think this would be too severe, but we'll keep an eye on it. All right, while we have a brief moment here, I'm going to zoom in on the Eastern Kentucky mess here for you guys. I'm going to go to potty real quickly, if you guys don't mind. I'll put that in motion there so you can kind of see that. All right. You know what I just remembered too. I've got the guys. You see our sponsor down there, 3D Heating and Cooling. I've got them coming by at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning to start doing some new duct work for us. And I just realized, like, dude, I'm not going to be able to go to sleep. I'm screwed. I'm screwed. I see a lot of people in E-Town saying it's taking forever to get there. This middle portion of Kentucky is taking forever to get to you. What's this little booger doing? What are you doing? Nothing. Nothing at all. Just hanging out. I saw a little. Anytime I see a little hook beginning to go, I always think, what is it doing? No, that one's doing nothing at the moment. We are seeing a nice bright purple return coming in just west of West Point. Let's check in on
high priority Kentucky storm reports right now.
GeoBot, go to bed. From that sideways. Whoa, that'll mess with your mind. I don't see anything there. Looks like that Eastern Kentucky mess is starting to get out of there. Did they cancel that? That's good that they canceled that because there's nothing there. We do have some storm reports here, some thunderstorm wind damage. This is back out toward Salt Lick and Owensville. Got a few, see those yellow squares there? You can turn these on WeatherWise too, weather reports. You have a few reports there of maybe some minor wind damage. It can't be that severe because it didn't come through GeoBot. Is this Jackson, Kentucky issuing these? No, Charleston, West Virginia. I wasn't sure who had that territory there. Just checking through everything. Right now, I don't really see any rotation happening anywhere. Like, I know they have a tornado possible on this tag out here toward Louisa, but I'm just not seeing that at this point. I guess the Sandy Hook one, if it does get a hook, no pun intended, on the bottom side could produce something, but I don't see anything at the moment to suggest that. Are those storms just going east out here? Let me well they are. They pretty much stopped coming south and went back to the east. That makes sense. Yeah, they're pretty much all everything's pretty much all east now. That's so. Did they cancel that tornado watch? I don't see it popping up. Well, I go pee for 2 minutes and everything changes. What in the world? Hold it up. They're showing bottom of my screen. What do you mean? Oh yeah, the bottom scroll bar there. Let's yeah, it's still active. At least on our dashboard. Let me refresh weather-wise here. I don't see any posts about it yet. Yeah, it's not. Oh, there it is. I was about to say. What's interesting about this though is all those storms moving east now. So that means all of you down here pretty much should be dropped. I mean, these storms are moving dead east. That's what I was trying to look for that whole time. Emily, thank you for your 10 stars. I appreciate that. Should Moorhead be worried? Uh, looks like you already got quite a brunt of everything there. I think you're sure that's probably pretty low at this point. I wouldn't say zero, but pretty low. Dalton, thank you for a $2 super chat. Need to keep an eye on things there a little bit longer. Will Grayson get a tornado? Is very unlikely. We do not cover Ohio, my friend. Yeah, Frankfurt's got some flash flooding to be worried about for the next few hours. So that watch is still active, so let's go ahead and turn that back off. I wonder why that didn't pop up at first. My concern now is that now that we have this kind of moving east, right, instead of southeast, my concern now is as these storms move east, do we see the bottoms of these storms start to spin at all? Sometimes you can get this thing called tell-in Charlies, which is kind of the bottom of your storm cells starting to spin, especially if they're moving horizontally. So, which is kind of how they're going to be moving. So, that's my concern. So they're moving east. Hang on, let me do some live mesoanalysis with you here. So that's going west to east. The slight wiggle southwest northeast, and then our surface. And the storms are moving west to east. So storms are moving at the same direction as your 500 millibar. So to me, this tornado potential should be dropping quite a bit. We can also just do a little cheat sheet here. Seems to still be rocking. But usually, if your storm's moving with the same direction as your upper layers, usually that's we call it parallel, and typically that reduces the tornado threat quite a bit. And usually it becomes mainly damaging wind threat. But again, you still can sometimes get these little hooks at the bottom of these cells that can try to spin. Bob Builder says Mount Sterling okay. Out of here, fly. Jeez Louise. Some strong thunderstorms all around you. Nothing severe at the moment, though. Looks like they have cleaned up. By the way, thank you for your $2 super chat. I appreciate that. Is Louisville okay? Yeah, mainly a flash flood threat there now. Looks like they have cleaned up some of the warnings out here in eastern Kentucky. So just Louisa, Ashland, Blaine, Sandy Hook included in these warnings out here. We go back through our radars and take a look into these storms.
No new high priority Kentucky storm reports right now.
I didn't ask you to do a GeoBot. I gotta work on her a little bit. Honestly, tonight, I mean, I've had her kind of on the computer here for a few months now, but really, GeoBot has not had to have been used. So this is really the first time we've gotten to see GeoBot since I wrote her code. By the way, she's not an AI bot. She is a virtual assistant. There's a big difference. I don't like AI bots. I don't like teaching things that I don't like writing things that can become smarter than me. Is that egotistical? I don't like doing that. But so the difference is GeoBot has one job, and it's a job that I wrote for her with code, of course. And so she can't learn. She's not machine learning. So that's what makes the difference there. Basically what I'm trying to say. No rotation out here. And honestly, it looks like the worst of the winds is already past the Ashland area. That's going to be for Ohio and West Virginia, that tornado warning there. Wow, that radar being down in Charleston really sucks. This is what we look like right now. Update for Taylorsville. Only comments? Oh. I don't really see if anyone wants to answer that person on YouTube. I don't really see much of a severe threat there. Flash flood threat is the main thing to kind of watch out on. I wouldn't say severe threat's going down. I think it is definitely more so transitioning to a damaging wind threat, though. George, how does it look for Columbia? Well, you got nothing around you for about 150 miles. Maybe this afternoon you may see some storms, or later this morning anyway. But for now, you really have nothing going on. And by that point, it should mainly just be a rain and wind threat. We still expect it to make it to London. I never expected this line to make it to London. But this afternoon and evening, some more storms can form down there. Maybe later this morning, this afternoon and evening. Damaging winds and rains kind of being your main threat there. I will be very clear on this. There is no tornado threat this afternoon and evening. It's just rain and winds. Now, some of those winds can get up to 60, 65 miles per hour in some isolated spots, but it's just rain and winds. Will Louisa be in the clear after this warning? I wouldn't say the clear, but your severe threat definitely goes down. We'll need to see what this line of storms does as it moves east. Sully, we can see it. Just makes it a lot more difficult. I got mosquito bites all over me, man. Gosh. I just love my blood. Where the heck is Sailorsville? I know where this is at, but for some reason I'm blanking on it. So we're just going to type it in. There you are. Sailorsville looks like you're getting a little bit lucky right now. The storm line has gone a little bit more east. It may be several hours till you actually see something out there. Serious question, do you get dents on your head from the headset? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you see a tornado happening in Moorhead? I do not. How sure are we that E-Town and Glendale can go to sleep? I mean, just have a way to go, receive warnings and alerts on your phone or weather radio. But right now, the storm line is moving more east, and you're south. So it might be a while before you actually see a storm. Sharp cheddar. That was Louisville or St. Louis. I mean, do you see a tornado happening in Pikeville, guys? Please don't ask me about cities and tornadoes, guys. That's an impossible question to answer. Impossible. You're talking about throwing a dart in a literal haystack in the middle of the night, 4 miles away. It is impossible to answer a tornado odds by city. All I can tell you is that I think the tornado threat for everyone at this point is incredibly low. Is it zero? No. But at this point, it's incredibly low. And as we get more into the morning, it will continue to decrease. There are more storms expected later on this afternoon and evening, but it should be mainly a damaging wind and rain threat. Yeah, someone just split up the Saylorsville name for me and thinks that's going to help. Bubba, I don't know how to pronounce city names. I don't know if you're saying Saylorsville or like Salyersville. I don't know nothing about that. Been pouring in Taylorsville for a long time. Yeah, you got to watch out for a flash flood threat there. Think Brandenburg can go to bed? Most likely. Do you know a streamer that does West Virginia? Not really. I really don't know anyone from West Virginia. I've never been to West Virginia in my life. I really have no idea. How is Cincinnati doing now? Looks like there's nothing around you up there. Can I go to sleep in Lexington? Yeah, I think you're probably good to go. Can I sleep in Frankfort? Yeah. Again, guys, once the front edge of that line gets past you, your severe threat really drops. Oh, it's definitely weakening. And London, I really don't see. I've maintained this the whole time. I really don't see a severe threat for you, at least until this afternoon, where it's mainly just going to be winds and rain. Josh, go to sleep, my friend. Go to sleep, guys. These are the types of storms where, as long as you're inside, I think you're good to go. As long as you're not sleeping outside, you all should be fine to go to sleep. Ew. I think there was a bug in my Mountain Dew. Is that not the most Kentucky statement you think you've ever heard in your life right there? I don't know. Something just felt weird going down my throat there. Oh, oh. Louisiana, Kentucky, 60-mile-per-hour severe winds is on your warning tag there for the next 20 minutes or so. Hey, no one better have clipped that either. Protein shake? Oh, Lord, no. West Liberty, Kentucky, just some strong thunder showers going on there right now. Lexington's pretty much good to go. Dude, now I just want to go throw up. Stop saying something about protein shakes. Clipped, posted viral. Bizarre. West Kentucky, will it make any of those other storms worse later? No. No. Can I go to sleep? I'm in Lexington. Yes, you can go to sleep. Good morning. What about Moorhead, Kentucky with these lines of storms? Mainly just going to be strong thunderstorms at this point. If you're just now waking up, you slept through the worst of it. Worst of it. I saw that, Elizabeth. I saw that. Yeah, Florence got slammed earlier. My goodness. That was one of the more impressive radar signatures I've seen in Kentucky in a long time. Wouldn't be surprised if some of that damage comes back to maybe EF2. Flooding in Louisville is crazy. Yeah, it looks like it's going to continue on there too. Still got more rain to go. So are we going to go to sleep in Louisa? Probably about 10 minutes or so. They have this camera pointed south. I wonder if we could see any of the flooding from this camera. No. What, is that the sun coming up? Oh, dude. I want to go to bed. I want to go to bed. I'm telling you guys, if this expires, I'm going to bed. Freeze down in Moorhead on road. Yeah, you think you had about 60 to 70 mile per hour winds a little bit ago out there in Moorhead? Yes, again, I think anyone can go to sleep as long as you have a way to receive warnings and alerts, and as long as you're sleeping indoors. So if any of you were asking if you can go to sleep, yes. I will tell you that we're going to have to watch these areas very closely. Not West Kentucky, but this area over here really closely, just mainly for flash flooding. I mean, you got more storms pumping in from over here. You have these storms obviously heading out that way. Yeah, you definitely got some potential for some significant flash flooding. I mean, for example, just looking at Louisville real quickly, right, and areas around Louisville. Let's go back to the last 3 hours alone. Look how much rain has fallen up here. Radar is estimating that almost 4 inches of rain there in J-Town. Almost 4 inches of rain there around the I-65 corridor. A solid stripe of 2 to 3 inches here throughout Shelbyville, Frankfort, and Georgetown. And you probably got another 1 to 3 inches to go, at least. So you're talking about a very quick 4 to 6 inches of rainfall in Louisville. I mean, it's that's what I'm saying. You know, gotta look out for the flash flooding there, because that's a lot of rain to fall in a very short amount of time. A lot of rain to fall in a very short amount of time, especially considering that you're now not in drought status up there. You're not in drought status up there, so your ground's pretty wet already. What do they change this morning to? 60 mile per hour winds just for Louisa and Blaine out there in far eastern Kentucky. Louisa and Blaine, 60 mile per hour wind gust with that little bit of storm cell right there, a little bit curve right there with that storm cell. That'll be heading out toward West Virginia here in a little bit. And then we're going to be left with this, looks like a stalling line of just rain showers for a while. I couldn't imagine there's too much of a severe threat with this, besides damaging winds and just flash flooding, which if that's the case, I'm going to go to bed at some point. And we'll just have our team maybe make some radar posts for you guys. Of course, if there's a tornado warning or a very serious severe warning, they'll wake me up. App recommendations for accurate alerts, WeatherWise. WeatherWise not only has this phenomenal radar that you see on your screen here now, but they also have something cool. Let me show you. Hopefully I don't leak myself in the process of doing this. But they also have this home tab. It's going to look a little bit different on your phone. It'll look a little bit like that. Okay? But it's all pretty much the same thing. Go to home. And I already have alerts enabled. Well, I'm on PC, so I don't get alerts. But you will see an enable button here. Enable free NWS push alerts. Yes, they are free. And you also have a really cool 7-day outlook here. And then, of course, you have your outlooks down here from the Storm Prediction Center or the Weather Prediction Center. You can do current locations. Click the current location. It'll automatically do everything for you. Pretty cool. Why did it give me home in Chicago? Bubba, I'm not in Chicago. Let's see if it works. Okay, yeah, you can hack my location. Okay. So to see now, it's adjusted to the Ratcliffe where I live, and it's telling me I'm in a marginal severe risk for today, and I can read that, and a marginal excessive rainfall risk for today. I like it. Obviously, I probably shouldn't be telling you about this because it does defeat the purpose of me having our own website. Yes, we have our own website. If you didn't know about that, you can go look at that, WNKWX.com. There's also alerts on there too, and we give you like a heads up for when rain's arriving and stuff. Now, the only fortunate thing is you have to be on the website to get those alerts. I don't have push notifications set up yet. I have to work on all that. I have not had time to work on all that. I've been trying to get our app out to you guys forever. Yes, we're working on an app. But there's not enough time in the day. Not enough time in the day. Now we're doing a radio show, radio stuff. Now we're doing weather-wise work. Now we're doing our work. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Okay, let's go back in here now. Close all of this back out here. Go back over to our composite tab. Turn off that navigation real quickly. I don't need you guys stalking me. Yeah, a little bit of a gust front on the front side of these storms, but that's pretty much leaving Kentucky at this point. So I think at this point, I'm going to wrap up this broadcast here. None of these storms have been severe in a while. That's not to say it's 0%. Hey, look at you, E-Town. Just south of E-Town. Now you're getting some rain. Someone was crying about it in the chat earlier. Now you're getting some rain. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors. I'm not going to give the whole sponsor spiel. You guys know we don't do that in the middle of alert broadcast. This is an alert broadcast. But just know the only reason we're able to be here for you guys 24/7 is because of our sponsors. So you see those scrolling in the bottom left. Hopefully you guys consider supporting them in any way you can. You've come so far just in the last 4 years. I know it's been insane, but thank you. I know you've been a part of the journey for a while. I know you've been a part of the journey for a while. Plan on mowing today? You're crazy. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to wrap up the broadcast. And I'm probably going to go sleep. I'm being honest with you. I haven't been asleep since 7 o'clock yesterday morning. I'm tired. I had like a 30-minute nap a little bit ago, but that was about it. I'm tired. I'm going to go get some sleep before someone else gets banned for no reason. And then I'm going to have our team watch the radar, okay? You watch the radar in the WeatherWise app. We will also post radar. I'll have them see if someone can post radar posts every couple of hours for you guys. Overall, though, guys, just for real. Just for real, let's go to the full camera for a second. It's going to be storming off and on much of the day. Okay, so throw the time frame. I know you guys love obsessing over when's it going to hit my area. Off and on all day. Just think about it like a pop-up chance, 50-50, okay? At some point, it's going to hit your area at some point today, whether it's now, 12 p.m., 6 p.m., 8 p.m. At some point, you're probably going to see some sort of rain or thunderstorm at some point today. Now, what we're going to be transitioning to into this late morning and afternoon is mainly a heavy rain and damaging wind threat. As we go deeper into the morning, afternoon, and evening, we're going to lose a lot of the spin in the atmosphere, which means we're going to lose that tornado threat. Right now, I think the tornado threat is extremely low, which is the kind of why I feel comfortable getting off here. I will say, though, it is not 0%, so keep an eye on things. If that line has passed you, which trust me, believe me, you will know if it's passed you because you would have heard it, then you should be good to go. You may see more storms this afternoon and evening. If that line has not passed you, just wait your turn. Eventually, it's going to make its way. Right now, it's moving west to east, and some storms are putting back into western Kentucky, southern Illinois, and eastern Missouri. And those storms will scoot across Kentucky at some point today as well. I'll try to be back up around 1 o'clock or so. That's if nothing else pops off and I don't have to wake up before then. And then I'll post some updates for the afternoon and evening for you. But overall, just expect a stormy day. It's simple. Keep things simple. Just expect a stormy day throughout Kentucky, with damaging winds being the main severe risk. Right now, there is no tornado risk posted by the SPC for Kentucky for today. All right. The only tornado risk for Kentucky was for this morning's round of storms, which we absolutely did see come to fruition with the obvious tornado that occurred in Florence, and then maybe one more toward Carrollton, Kentucky. And then there's numerous damaging wind reports out there in eastern portions of the state. But again, just thunderstorms off and on. And as long as you're mainly indoors and you have a way to receive alerts, notifications, and warnings, you should be good to go. You should be good to go. I'll have our team watching the state with the storms for you guys. Again, yeah, go to sleep. Everyone go to sleep. Everyone go to sleep. Everyone go to sleep. As long as you're inside now, like, again, you're probably going to be good to go. So just go to sleep. Stop stressing over it. My team will let you know if there's anything that needs to be watched. If there's anything tornadic or super severe, I will come back on the live broadcast for you guys. So don't worry about that. If you want to look at the peak wind gusts, go to KentuckyMesonet.com. All right? I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with Weather Now Kentucky. Thank you so much for choosing us this morning. I know a lot of you didn't want to be awake, but here we were, and I'm glad we had your back. We'll continue to have your back even though the broadcast is off, and if something else pops off, we will be back. Until next time, stay safe, folks.